NFL on EA Sports. The winding road to the Super Bowl continues here in the divisional round, where two teams look to take another step towards the Super Bowl. It's the Bills going up against the Bengals. The opening kick is straight ahead, so it's time to turn it over to my colleagues, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis with the call. Gentlemen.
From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Coming up, it's Divisional Round Saturday, and we've got an AFC battle on tap between the Buffalo Bills and the Cincinnati Bengals. The first of 4 berths in the conference championships on the line here as divisional weekend in the NFL is underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
See if they stay on the ground for second down.
Here we go!
They hand off to their big tight end. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. They'll run it with Johnson. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
Here we go!
Play action, now Taylor. He'll buy some time right. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
First down carry here for Johnson. And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be third and about a foot or 2. All right, let's take a look at the offensive starters and the second-round pick out of USC. One to talk about, Robert Woods.
I think a lot of people thought maybe he was ticketed for stardom coming out of USC. Has always been a great route runner, much more of a complimentary receiver, but they could utilize that in a big way and have him open up things in the middle.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson, and he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Here we go! Flag round! Ohio!
Now Taylor on first down. Screen play, Johnson. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. The first down screen pass, good for 5. And while we have a moment, let's meet the starters defensively for the Cincinnati Bengals.
And they wanted to update and beef up their secondary, and they did that with their first-round selection. William Jackson III out of Houston has speed, good eyes in the secondary, and is aggressive on the corner.
And the 8th play on this drive coming up. Now the Purdue man, this is Akeem Hunt. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a 1st down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Here we go.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Flex round. Flex round. Let's go. 1, 9.
2nd down, goal to go from the 6. Here's Gillisley. They give him 2 yards officially, and now it'll be 3rd and goal. Now they've gotten it to the 4 on this opening drive, but now they face a 3rd and goal.
Let's go. Flex round. Flex round. Here we go.
From the shotgun, it's Taylor. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver from 3 yards out. And the Bills take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Now another shot here at the PAT. And it's 7-0 Buffalo. After the TD, here's Carpenter on to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Dagger. Set. Wide. 20. Zebra. Zebra. Ace. Dagger. Zebra. 380.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. Boyd's the target, and he has it over the middle. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Zebra.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. It's 2nd down. Dalton looking. Underneath, this is Bernard. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. All week in practice, they stress grounding, pounding the football, and they really executed it well there to get the 1st down.
That usually means getting back to being physical in practice, because when you emphasize pounding the football, it doesn't really come together unless you practice it the same way you're going to play it in the game. That means more bodies, more pads, and a whole lot of popping last week, and they got it done in the game.
Dalton throwing on 2nd down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. And we take a look at the Bills' defense.
Kyle Williams never gets the credit he deserves as a defensive tackle, but every offense in the league knows how difficult it is to block him.
Zebra.
3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. He's got his man, Boyd. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over as a freshman in college and got better and better each year. Always added a little bit more to his game, gets stronger. But the best part about him is he's always been accurate.
So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they're driving, but they come up on a 3rd and short here. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Despite only needing 1, Dalton to throw. He's got his man here. It's Green. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. So we have now seen connection number 1 between Dalton and Adriel Jeremiah, A.J. Green.
Say that again?
Adriel Jeremiah.
Look at you. You are full of knowledge and information. And you know something? I bet Andy Dalton learned his full name as well because he figured out quickly, this is going to be my number 1 target. I got to know this guy in a big way.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
Zebra. Ready.
2nd down, Dalton. To the left side here for Eifert. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
And Eifert has it. And he will have the 1st down before he's brought down at the 3. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. And now for the offense, this is play number 11 here on this drive.
Zebra. Zebra. Dagger.
Dalton here from the gun. And it's a Cincinnati Bengals touchdown.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown.
It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Come on, let's go.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to go for a big play downfield. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Marquise Goodwin, 63 yards. And the Bills have taken the lead. Good pass, clean catch, and a house call there on the fly route.
And not that much room to operate. So that tells you about his acceleration. We always talk about being able to go from 0 to 60 real fast. It took him less time than that to get to top speed and complete that play.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, But what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. It's second down. Dalton looking. Boyd's the target, and he has it over the middle. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Zebra. Set 380. Ace.
On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. He gets this one to Boyd. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make this a second down. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side.
Zebra.
Shift together here from the D-line.
380.
Dalton throwing on second down. Green's got it over the middle. And he gets it down to the 32. They get 5 out of that one, and he moves the chains.
There's nothing like getting out of the gate and finding your favorite target. Andy Dalton just did that with A.J. Green.
And some people call that a nice fantasy football connection as well.
Yeah, they're piling up the points that way, and they want to see that continue.
Two minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more AFC playoff action after this timeout. Fresh set of downs here.
Zebra.
First and 10 for Dalton. Underneath, this is Bernard. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 18 yards on the pickup there. And it's good enough for a Cincinnati first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Let's just go ahead and go back through that play with his eyes, because he's got to read his keys. Run or pass right off the top. You're probably going to read an offensive lineman to see if he sets up in pass protection or if he fires out for a running play. The next thing is you're going to check and see what the back's going to do, and if he ends up with the football, okay, now you got to check and see. Does an offensive lineman come downfield and try and block you? Are you going to try to elude it? Are you going to take him on and hold your spot? What are you going to do? In this case, didn't have to do any of that. Saw all of his keys, saw the play in front of him, and ran clean to the ball carrier and finished off the play.
Third down, a shot here for Dalton. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the offense readies for a 2nd and 4. And he motions the wide receiver. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Here's Taylor to throw. He's got time. Going up top. And that's caught inside the 35. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Woods the receiver in motion right. They'll run it now out of the gun. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
Here we go.
They'll throw on 1st down with Taylor. Screen play, Johnson. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. On 2nd down, Taylor. Flushed out right. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it, incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
And Carpenter knocks it through. So it's on to halftime in this AFC divisional round matchup. As we'll send you down to Orlando, where Larry Ridley has our EA Sports halftime report. Larry? So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the 2nd half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But
this
you're
is
going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the 2nd half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Dalton, 1st and 10. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the 2nd half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it.
380. Zebra.
They come out 5 wide. 3 of them to the right side.
Dagger. Wide, 20. Wide.
2nd and 10. Dalton once more. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. A first down throw coming for Dalton. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. They'll get 17 yards there. And that'll be good enough for a Cincinnati first.
Zebra. Set wide, 20.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Jeremy Hill was the one he was trying to hit there. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
We just saw another example of really good defensive football, which has led to the cushion that they have in this game. Got to him once again, knocked him on the ground, forced an incompletion.
Yeah, they've set the tone. It's one thing to set the tone, another to come in here on the road and set the tone. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab it, and that'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on it, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky. We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football.
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Another look for Dalton on 2nd and 10. Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the 2nd half. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
On 2nd down, Johnson. David Johnson on his way. He's at the 30. And he cuts it out right sideline. Some space here. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. David Johnson, 72 yards. And the Bills will add on to their lead. And this one through the uprights and good. After the TD, here's Carpenter on to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make it 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your...
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. And a great spot to start this drive from here. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go in.
Try